You guys remember the Black X-Antibody deck with Dorugoramon that I covered from BT7? Well, it's BT8 and things just got even better than ever. Hello Digimon players and fans, welcome back to another Digimon deck profile and in-depth building guide video. You guys probably would know that I made quite a couple of videos revolving around Alphamon ever since it was released from BT6. We went all the way from Black Royal Knights to Royal Knights Security Control and all the way to Black X-Antibody in BT7 with Dorugoramon. We have the Dorugoramon with BT7 and now we got Ouryumon as well with BT8. By combining both evolution lines together, we finally have a fully equipped archetype that all synergizes greatly together. But not only that, it makes the deck incredibly powerful and very competitively viable too. So we actually got lots to cover for today, as I'll be going through an in-depth guide for this deck along with some other additional card options that you might want to consider adding into it as well. And I also got a combo segment afterwards because we got 3 major combos to showcase you guys, and it demonstrates how awesome this deck really is because it's just super fun to play in BT8 format. And it also helps you guys to learn. Now, if you guys are still thinking, this is not enough content, I want more Alphamon and Black X-Antibody videos. Well, I actually played this deck for the very first regionals ever in 2022. So be sure to check out that live stream as well because you get to see that deck in action. Just like all my other Alphamon related videos, do you know this is not the full power of the deck even? We actually got even more support once again for Alphamon and X-Antibody in BT9 X record. And the deck is only just going to get even better, so strong that it's going to be competitively tier 1. If you guys are just as excited for that, you know what you gotta do. Subscribe and turn on that notification bell right now to stay tuned. Alrighty, let's go ahead with the deck profile. Alright, let's start with the Digi-Eggs. We first have the 4 copies of Dorugoramon right here. Dorugoramon is just still the best egg for the X-Antibody simply because once you slide something in underneath its source, you get to draw a card which really wants to keep you with the consistency, and I only play 4 eggs. So with that being said, I do want to quickly talk about the other egg right here, which is the new one, which is Kyokkyomon. This one basically is very similar to Dorugoramon. Once you slide something underneath, your Digimon will gain 1000 extra DP until the end of your opponent's next turn, which is kind of nice. However, I feel like it's really not needed in this deck. I personally would not play the 5th egg whatsoever. I just really want to keep it at a 4 for its consistency and draw powers, and seeing more combo pieces for more stacks potential with your X-Antibody is actually more important than that. If you guys really want the 5th egg, there you go. Play the Kyokkyomon as well. So now let's move into the rookies. So let's starting off with the brand new addition to the X-Antibody family. We got the Ouryumon right here. This one's right here, the alt art, just so you guys know. And Ouryumon is basically your searcher. It searches for your new tamer, which is Yuji. Yuji is extremely important, so you normally actually want to be hard playing this guy as much as you can so you can do more searching, and you can also grab an X-Antibody. The decoy inheritable is also decent and quite nice to have sometimes, but it's always not super effective. You really just want to mainly hard play this guy and get your engine going and find your pieces to get there as soon as possible. That's really what Ouryumon is all about. Now for the good old rookie, we still have the 4 copies of Dorugoramon right here. Dorugoramon is your other searcher for hard play to grab an X-Antibody and also grabbing Coda, which is your other tamer. However, in this particular build or in this particular format, Digivolving Dorugoramon in your raising is actually not bad at all because you get the very nice inheritable of gaining a memory when you slide something in, and when you do gain that memory, it becomes very important because it allows you to make more plays, play more cards, and do more crazy combos with it essentially. So that's the 4 Dorumons that you still have to play 100%. And then to round off for the rookies, we do have the 2 copies of Ouryumon right here. Ouryumon is just really good because I really like the inheritable of simply giving security +1. The piercing does come in handy every now and then when you do need it, which is quite nice. However, it's just that good of a card, and I always would keep this as at 4 as well, because you're always going to be above 13,000 DP to get that extra security +1, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And you do a lot of damage with it. It gives you the aggression, and it just suits my playstyle. So that's it for all the rookies, and let's move into the level 4s. Brand new level 4 right here. We have Ouryumon. He basically digivolves from Ouryumon. This one is very simple. All you have to do is basically has a inheritable where it gives your X-Antibody blocker. For the other level 4s, we're going back to the Doru once again. This is the Dorugoramon, which basically gives you a inheritable of all turns extra 1000 DP, which is really crucial. Beefing up your stack, making it even stronger in terms of power is just very important. But also it's very nice because during the opponent's turn, it can also become a blocker, which is really good when you want to play defensively as well, and it's needed. And yeah, that's basically it for Dorugoramon. And then last but not least, we got 2 Grumblemons. Basically, we need it for hybrid for game. It happens very often, and it basically is just, yeah, hybrid for game. What else can I say about it? Really good auto win button right there for you guys. So that's it for the level 4s. Now let's talk about the level 8s. It's going to be very simple, but let's showcase you guys the first brand new level 8 right here, which is Ouryumon. Ouryumon digivolves on top of Ouryumon, part of the Beelstarmon and the Ouryumon line basically, and he does a whole lot of things, and he bridges into your combos, and 100% have to play 4 copies of this because it's just that good. First of all, let's talk about the easy thing. The inheritable, it gives reboot. So when you combo with Ginryu and Ouryumon together in your stack, you basically get reboot blocker, which is very nice with a classic black combination. Reboot blocker, swing and then restand, swing and then reboot, and you basically have a defensive guy on the board that's massive during your opponent's turn. Now, the other thing is your turn. When one of your effects places a Digivolution card underneath your Digimon, and you're basically allowed to Digivolve this guy into an X-Antibody by paying its cost. But after paying its cost, you get to reduce the cost of the Digivolution by 1. Now, there's going to be a combo segment after this deck profile where I'll go very in depth exactly how you play this card in particular, but this card combos extremely well with Alphamon and also Yuji along together, which is very important and vital for the deck to facilitate your optimal combo. But yeah, I'll talk about the combo right after, so definitely stick around and stay tuned so you guys don't miss out on that as well. Now, for the back again, with the classic one, we got the 4 Dorugoramons right here. Dorugoramon is basically also really good, really important. Every single card in this deck is just really good, and I'm super happy because all of them synergize so well all together finally. But anyways, Dorugoramon gives the inheritable security +1. You want that, massive checks into your opponent's security, deal damage, be aggressive. That's what I like as well. When digivolving, you can slide and place like a Black X-Antibody under a trait to basically grow your stack, and then afterwards it gives it protection from DP reduction as well as deletion effects until the end of your opponent's turn, which is kind of nice. Usually we actually want to slide this guy in via effects to give security +1, more so than digivolving, but there are times that depending on certain matchups such as yellow, you know, playing this guy, pushing up a level 4 and then digivolving into this guy in the battle area can help and can give you pretty good combos as well. So that will be it for our level 5s, and let's showcase you guys the level 6s where we got lots to talk about, because the first card right here, which is the brand new addition to the X-Antibody family, is Ouryumon. This guy right here in the middle is the alt art, and we play 3 copies of it. Let's talk about the inheritable first because it's just easy and to go through. You always want to slide this guy in underneath Alphamon because it basically treats it like a Savior Huckmon and Jesmon, and it allows you to unsuspend at the end of attack, which is really good with Ouryumon. And yeah, it's just that powerful, and it allows you to make so many combos and combinates and synergizes so well with Alphamon. But even himself, does a whole lot of things if you digivolve into him, because when digivolving you can place one X-Antibody into the sources, slide in something extra, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon that has play cost 7 or less, controlling the board, and him himself with 12,000 DP can be really strong and beef up and take down your opponent's security aggressively in sometimes when you don't see your Alphamon. And then for the second effect, just so you guys know before I talk about it, there's actually an errata for it. It's a minor errata, and I'll post a link in the description box down below for you guys, but I'll also show you guys the image of the errata right here with the text specifically, where you basically, as long as you slide anything underneath a X-Antibody source during your turn, it can be particularly this Digimon or it can be any other Digimon that you have on the board, it basically gains this effect where he can gain extra 2000 DP and cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects until the end of the next turn, which is really good. And yeah, that's basically Ouryumon, and really cool card. Really happy that he's been added into the deck, so then we can now show you guys the boss monster, boss Digimon of our entire deck. So as you guys know, our boss Digimon, the main star of the show of this deck, is Alphamon right here, the leader of Royal Knights, and I'm just super happy that we finally have enough support to make this deck super competitively viable essentially, and we can synergize so well with a full archetype based deck, and it's just extremely fun to play. And I really like how the new addition and supports of Ouryumon and Dorugoramon and all that kind of stuff putting together to make this Alphamon very playable, because I remember when it first came out in BT6 it was just kind of like it was kind of like it's a lone card type of thing. It doesn't do too much. It was separate, but now there's a full synergy along with the whole deck. I just love it so much, and I'm super happy. But like I mentioned in so many times in all my other Black Royal Knights or Royal Knights deck profiles and my X-Antibody deck profile from last format as well, Alphamon is just, there's so many things. Like, once again, its security effect is like a defensive mechanism for you. It protects you, which is really neat. And then also, as when attacking, you can basically manipulate its DP so you can swing over things and safely beat over things when you need to. And not only that, at the end of the attack you gain 2 memory, which becomes even more crucial and even more popularly used in this particular build moving forward, and it just gets your combos popping off, which is so insanely good. But yeah, 3 copies of Alphamon is really all you need. To round up for the level 6s, I like to actually play 1 copy of the good old Dorugoramon right here. Now, the reason why I like this is because in certain matchups, Dorugoramon allows you to pop wider boards. And not only pop wider boards, he himself can single-handedly add more sources underneath without the need of Yuji. Sometimes this deck takes a lot of setup because you need multiple cards to get into your combo, but Dorugoramon is a very nice one-off tech to help you, and also, you know, single-handedly by himself give you a lot of advantage, sometimes in the early game or in the later game. And I just like him as a tech. Well, however, if you guys prefer consistency, you can actually play full Ouryumons instead of having this extra tech of Dorugoramon right here. So that's much my little 2 cents and preference for you guys to know, and that wraps up for the level 6s. So now let's talk about Tamers. Brand new Tamer right here. We have the 4 copies of Yuji, and you have to play 4 copies of this guy. This guy is really crucial to your combo, which is why you need to max out essentially. And basically what he does is, your turn, when you move an X-Antibody up from raising into the battle area, you get to gain a memory and draw a card. Which is really good because it helps you see more pieces, make more combos, and make more plays. But not only that, also your turn, when you do attack with a Black Digimon with X-Antibody and its traits, you can suspend this Tamer, and then you can slide in a X-Antibody source from your hand into it underneath the sources, and then you basically pop off with even more combos and follow up from there. That's really what Yuji does, and he's a 3-cost Tamer, which is very affordable. And again, you always want to be, you know, seeing this card ASAP. Next up, for our other good old Tamer, we got the 3 Kodas right here. Koda is just that great because it's your memory Tamer essentially, but also it helps you searches. So it's not as valuable as Yuji, but its on play is quite decent, and you know, it's quite nice to have it in early game so that your opponents can't choke you out with it. That's really the whole main reason of playing Koda. Alright, that will be it for our Tamers. Let's show you guys the options. First off, we have the brand new option that everybody cannot pronounce correctly, and I will teach you guys how to pronounce the name of this card correctly today, and it's actually pronounced as Ouryumon. So Ace Ryojin is a really cool card because you de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and then afterwards you can slide an X-Antibody under a source, and then also afterwards you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost 4 or less. So this is an alternative option other than just UG to slide something in, which is why you definitely want to play at least a 2 of, which is really crucial. The next one is Breath of Gods. Now I want to mention that I didn't play this card particularly in my stream when I was playing this deck because of the Imperialdramon starter decks and the other starter decks were not out yet, so I felt like it was actually less relevant. But however, once the starter decks are out, or if you guys are playing in your locals or whatever tournaments you're at where the starter decks are actually relevant, the new one with Imperial and Mastemon, this card becomes very crucial and much more valuable for the deck, simply because it gives you protection from DP reduction, but also from any returning to deck or returning to hand. And Breath of the Gods is going to be really crucial to counter the matchups such as Yellow Hybrid with their DP reduction in general, or Yellow and Blue with their bouncing capabilities. And this is why you really want to play this card, and it gives you reboot as well, and it basically protects your stack. And your stack is extremely important, and with the protection, all you need to do is have that one single protection for that one single turn. The next turn you make your final blow into your opponent and it's all over for them. So that's why Breath of the Gods is really crucial, and now I decided to add it to showcase you guys from this deck. And then now, last but not least, we'll round up for more consistency in searching and extra memory advantages. We have the 2 copies of Black Memory Boost right here. Just a really versatile card as usual, really good card to help you get more combo pieces when you need to. And yeah, that basically rounds up for the entire 50 card deck. There's also a quick few suggestions of other cards that I can suggest you guys to add into the deck as well. The first one is actually 2 more copies of Ouryumon right here. Ouryumon is actually really good in the mirror matchup. It's just kind of unfortunate that he's only 1000 DP. But in the mirror matchup, it basically shuts down the Alphamon with the memory gaining effects. It's also really good against Blue because Blue also gain a lot of memory, but Blue does sometimes have a decent amount of inheritable, but these 2 main decks don't have too much removal all the time to counter against your Ouryumon, and Ouryumon can really shut them down really hard. I like to say Ouryumon can sometimes do okay against Yellow, but honestly it's just not good enough because Yellow would just strictly just DP reduce it and basically get rid of it very easily. But against many other decks that you might be playing around that, you know, they're seeming to gain a lot of memory for whatever reason, I think Ouryumon is just really great. I actually played this card in the regionals and it actually worked out quite decently. But it's kind of on and off sometimes, simply because I played it for several reasons. One of it being to shut down memory, but also to up the rookie count. Since there's no mulligans in any Bandai official tournaments at the moment, I really want to up the rookie counts, and playing the current 12 seems a little bit bricky to me, but at the same time, I'm giving it a test, giving it a try, giving it a go, and hopefully it will pull through in a general sense. But you know, just another additional suggestion for you guys if you guys want to up the rookie counts and play this Ouryumon in general. Another option you guys can consider adding is also Metal Cannon. Metal Cannon is also quite popular and decently nice as a tech, simply because it gives you a very good draw power. Once you have a huge stack, you draw so many cards and you're basically really good for your combos. With all the cards that you can have in your hand, you can just choose very selective and be, you know, have the luxury to choose what you want to stack, continuing stacking underneath and make even more plays, grow another stack if you will, and it just gives you a very decent setup scenario as well. So these are the 2 other cards I would suggest that you guys can consider switching around from the main deck as well, and test out what you guys personally prefer. Alright, now that we got the deck profile complete, let's show you guys a couple of the combos. And first of all, there's quite a few combos I actually want to show you guys, so it's going to be a bit more detailed for this particular one. But however, let's start off with the basic one, and there's so many different combos like I mentioned, and that's what makes this deck so fun. But anyways, let's just get right into it. So first off, you want to hatch your egg. You would normally want to, you know, digivolve a Dorugoramon or a Beelstarmon. It doesn't really matter too much, but in this particular scenario, let's just say we digivolve into a Dorugoramon. And early stages of the games, you want to try to, you know, hard play your Beelzemons and try to search your UGs as much as you can if you don't have it. If you have UG to start off with, play UG as soon as you can with any opportunity that you have. Now that you got these like 2 main cards set up, you're basically ready to go and start stacking. So usually you want to keep your level 3 in your raising, because then you will want to get into your level 4s. Either Dorugoramon and Ouryumon doesn't really matter. Dorugoramon is slightly better since it just always gives you extra DP to swing over things just in case. Ouryumon is just more of a defensive card, and at this point you will basically want to next up digivolve into a Ouryumon in raising once again and pass it to your opponent. Your opponent does their thing and they basically will pass you back, let's just say, 1 memory, and 1 memory is all you need to pull this combo off, and which is why I'm really excited to show you guys, because a lot of my combos usually require you to have a memory tamer or 3 memory to pull off any combo, but with X-Antibody, all you need is 1 memory and you're good to go, and UG, and you're basically set up. So let's show you guys. So now your turn starts, you draw, you do whatever, you're ready to push up. You push up your Ouryumon right here, and UG will basically allow you to gain a memory and draw a card. You know, more resources, and you're ready to go. So now what you want to do next is basically swing into a Digimon or into security with your Ouryumon. Swing into whatever you need to do and use your UG and suspend it. Suspend UG to add your source. Now, optimally, you want to have your Ouryumon, so you would want to add your Ouryumon underneath the Ouryumon, and then now a bunch of effects will trigger. First off, let's go from the bottom to the top. Dorugoramon will let you draw 1 more card. Fantastic. And then Dorugoramon will gain you another memory, so now you're at 3. This combo by itself already brings you back to 3 memory, and then your Ouryumon, mainly to finally top off, will trigger its effect, allowing you to digivolve ideally into your Alphamon right here, and then your Alphamon will be basically digivolving for 2 because it reduces the cost by 1, so you basically go back to 1, and Alphamon will basically swing into the Digimon or into security for 12,000 DP because you have a Dorugoramon right underneath. Keep in mind, for a specific ruling purpose, you can't use Alphamons when attacking to gain even more DP at this point, because the window of the when attacking has already surpassed. So you can't just say, oh, Alphamon pay 2 memory to gain more DP. No, you can't do that at all. So Alphamon will have to strictly be at 12 and swing over and hoping for it not, to survive the security check, or swing over a Digimon just to be safe usually. And now basically you swing over and defeat that Digimon, you do your end of attack procedure effects. First off, you have Ouryumon, which will restand your Alphamon. Alphamon next, end of attack, you gain 2 memory, and that's basically right there. Just a simple combo right there with Alphamon and Ouryumon, and how cool is that? Now you're back at 3 memory. Alphamon can swing in once again. Now let's say this time we want to swing into security because let's give Alphamon a extra bump. We'll pay 2 memory to make Alphamon into 14,000 DP right here, so so we'll safely swing in, and then we check again. There we go. And then Alphamon at the end will gain another 3 memory back, and you still have place for the rest of the turn. Basically 3 memory to work with without a memory tamer, and this card combo is just so cool, so good. So that's combo number 1. All right, combo number 2, very similar situation as the very starting point for the first combo. All combos require this main starting point, your hard play, your Ouryumons. Make sure you just have UG. That's really the most important thing. Basically. So this time, let's just say we digivolve into Ouryumon while we're doing that, and then we digivolve into Dorugoramon once again, and then we're at the Ouryumon at this point, and now our opponent does their thing, they put us back at 1, and we're ready to go. Push it up, gain the memory, draw a card. This time, this particular combo is for digivolving into an Ouryumon. So you do exactly the same thing as basically last combo. You swing in Ouryumon, you suspend UG, UG will slide in. Let's just say we have Ouryumon this time. We slide in Ouryumon underneath. Ouryumon will allow you to digivolve for 3 into Ouryumon, and then Ouryumon will go on top right here. Ouryumon, when digivolving effect, will activate at this point, and then you can even slide something more in. You can slide in a Dorugoramon this time, which is even better and really cool. And then Ouryumon will gain extra 2,000 DP, cannot be deleted by effects, and also you get to delete something because that is play cost of 7 or less because you slide something in. And right here, your Ouryumon is swinging for 15,000 into their security with 2 security checks because you got a Ouryumon this time and a Dorugoramon, and you check 3 securities just like that. Super strong. And let's just say, if we want to extend a little bit further, let's just say, well, if it wasn't Ouryumon in the rookie stack, it was Dorugoramon instead, you gain the memory back, retaining your turn right here. And how cool is that? honestly, and then you make more plays, you end your opponent, you pass whatever to them, and your Ouryumon has reboot and blocker as well. And keep in mind, you can really mix and match with all the different X-Antibody inheritables while you're playing this combo, and that's just how cool it is. So that's combo number 2, and we still have another combo to show you guys as well. So for this final combo, it's actually more dedicated towards facing against a yellow hybrid matchup, which is really crucial. And you're going to require a little bit more setup. However, that's okay. Be patient and set this up for you guys. And in this particular situation, once again, we have Ouryumon. Hard playing it, whether it's there or not is not really important, but you do need Coda because having 3 memories is really crucial. And ideally you have 2 UGs. If not, you would have another access of a Dorugoramon of some sort. But let's just say you have 2 UGs in this particular scenario, which is obviously more optimal. And it does happen because you'll be stacking lots of UGs in the game usually. And we're back to Dorugoramon with the Dorugoramon stack right here. And this time, instead of Ouryumon, we're going to be playing BlackWarGreymon on top. So we're going to push this out right here, and 2 UGs, so 2 memory, draw 2 cards, really nice. And then we pay 3 to go down to 2 to go into our Dorugoramon right here. What's next is that we use our Dorugramons when Digivolving effect to slide in, let's just say Ouryumon to set up earlier right here. So by putting the Ouryumon underneath, we're ready to go. And this is why it's important to have a little bit more memory and a little bit more tamers. Now the Dorugoramon slides something in, you get to gain a memory. Dorugoramon, you draw a card, and then you're good to go. Now your Dorugoramon is actually protected from DP reduction and deletion effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. And why it's really important at this moment, you need to make sure you have 3 memory in this particular scenario, because now you're gonna pay 3 memory to Digivolve your Dorugoramon into the Alphamon right here. Now, more combos. Let's get into it more. Now your Alphamon's ready to go. Let's just say Alphamon's gonna swing in. You're gonna suspend both UGs, or you can do it one at a time, but usually I like to do both, just in case. And now you have the luxury to choose whatever you want to stack in right here. Let's just say we suspend the 2 UGs to stack in a typical Ginryomon along with a Ouryumon right here, just for defensive purposes. So we swing in, and then right here we can also have the option to choose to pay memory for Alphamon. And let's just say we do, just to be safe, we want to have a little bit extra DP. So once again, Alphamon is actually at 12 plus 2, so at 14. Swinging into security for security plus 1, and you're basically swinging into your opponent's security. And then you do your checks and whatnot. Hopefully you don't run into Susano or whatever, but afterwards your Alphamon will restand because of Ouryumon underneath, and then you gain the 2 memory back right here, and then you can attack once again. Now keep in mind, if you do attack once again, your Alphamon currently is still at 14,000 DP, so if you want to pay some more memory, go ahead and do so if you're really afraid of swinging into something big. If not, just go ahead and swing with 14 once again. 2 checks, that's 4 securities down, and then after the end of attack, gain 2 memory, and then you get to play even more. If not, you can somehow manipulate it so that you can choke your opponent at 1. So let's just say you pay 3 memory to boost the Alphamon to 17,000 DP, just so you wanted to choke your opponent at 1 right here after gaining the 2 after the attack. And then you also have reboot blocker, but not only that, it cannot be deleted by effects or DP reduced until the end of the next turn. And that's all it takes for you to go against the yellow hybrid, because once they can't reduce it, they can't deal with this board, and they pass the turn back to you and can't deal with the stack, you're going it again in the next turn, and you have your UGs once again, and you're going to basically be winning the game from there. So that's basically the full-on 3 combos I like to showcase you guys. Of course, there's more combos than just that. Analyze the situation and piece your combos of different X-Antibodies and inheritables during the situation of what you need, but this is just one of the very few cool, exciting examples to showcase you guys. That will conclude for my very own deck building strategy and in-depth guide for the Alphamon with Black X-Antibody, along with the Ouryumon edition profile for today. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. Oh, by the way, did I mention how good BT9X record is going to be for Alphamon and this deck in particular? It actually is so good that I jumped on ahead and even got myself a Japanese booster box to open up on the channel. So you definitely want to watch that video as well, because we got lots more other deck profiles coming up for BT8. So be sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video, and this is Avault signing